CTV's Austin Lee is standing by in Calgary with more details for us. Good morning to you, Austin. Talk to us about how Calgary is stepping in here.
Well, good morning, Lois. They have set up this reception center on the Stampede Park, I should say, here at the grandstand. And so far, it's very slow here this morning. It doesn't open up officially until 8 o'clock, but still, it's been slow, and that's good news, obviously, given the fact that we have seen some people been able to return to their homes, Drayton Valley, recently as well. And so some of those evacuation orders being lifted. Right now, the supports that are available here in Calgary, that includes shelter at the grandstand. They're also making some hotels available to people if they need them. They have pet supports, emotional support here, as well as some financial assistance. You mentioned as well the applications that can be submitted online for that financial assistance by the province. But again, here in Calgary in particular, I spoke with Sue Henry, who's the chief of the Calgary Emergency Management Agency, and she tells me that they are expecting around 100 people, but it's very difficult to know exactly how many people will make their way to Calgary because it's a rapidly evolving situation. And she says if things end up taking a turn for the worse further south of where the majority of these fires are, then at that point, the city does have a plan in place to ramp up the level of support that it is available, available to offer those folks who have been displaced. But again, right now, rough ballpark, about 100 people so far, quiet, which is good news.
And Austin, I understand that Calgary is also offering up further support with firefighters. Give us the latest on that effort, as well as the latest on these wildfires too.
Well, Lois, I can tell you that from the Calgary Fire Department, they've sent up a total, last we heard, I should say, a total of 27 personnel, several apparatus as well from their spare fleet. And so the fire crew that we spoke with, the representative that we spoke with, made it very clear that that won't impact services here in the city of Calgary, but obviously very important to help combat the situation going on further north. And so those 27 members from the Calgary Fire Department will be in and around Grand Prairie with 3 fire trucks at least. And again, this was just as of yesterday, late morning, early afternoon, that we were provided that update. That number, or that level of response rather, that is the first time that Calgary Fire Department has sent out that many people and that much in terms of resources since the wildfire that we saw in Waterton Lakes National Park roughly 6 years ago. So it speaks volumes to the level of concern obviously being raised by fire crews and residents living further up north. They're still dealing with very dry conditions. And that leads me into your second question there, talking about the current situation. Right now, as of just a few minutes ago before coming live here, I checked the Alberta wildfire dashboard, 88 active wildfires, 27 of which are considered out of control. There have already been 408 wildfires so far this year across the province. That is way beyond what we're used to seeing. Just for a point of reference, roughly 400,000 hectares of land has been scorched by these wildfires, just under 400,000 hectares. That's about 900 times more than what we saw this time last year, and it's about 700 to 750 times more than the 5-year average. So dealing with some very extreme conditions, as some of those communities further north of Edmonton are expecting some dry conditions over the next couple of days. Cooler weather further south will help, and some potential rain in the forecast for some people to the west of Edmonton should help with those firefighting efforts. But people in those areas and the fire crews that are involved are certainly not out of the woods yet.
All right, CTV's Austin Lee reporting for us from Calgary. Thanks so much, Austin.